I wanted to do a little bit of color correcting with you guys today. I don't know how much you know about color correcting, but there are some really great things about color correcting, and then there's some not so great trade-offs with color correcting. So if you know what I'm talking about, you think about the traditional green color, and then you've got a pink color, and then you've got like this orange color, and you got this yellow color, and all of these colors are meant to offset discoloration in our face. So for instance, the green color is the complementary color to red, so it helps to offset the discoloration of red. And the orange color is the complementary color of blue, so it helps to offset the color. The only problem with color correcting traditionally, as it's done by pretty much the whole world, is that it helps to eliminate one problem, but it creates a smaller problem on the offside. The trade-off for that is that after you apply, say for instance, the green on the red, there's this grayish spot that's left. And so then the step after we color correct is to go take a foundation or a concealer and put it on top of that gray spot to match the rest of our skin tone. So what I use is a product line by Saint called Demi, and it's primarily used, it was a product line on its own, to do like a full face of makeup if you wanted, but it has become more popularized as using it as a spot treatment or color correcting treatment because of its ability to eliminate the discoloration that it's applied on if it's applied on the correct colors with the correct colors. For instance, this is called 01. It stands for orange one, and Demi, the first letter of the color name, is what the Demi color is used. So this is 01, so it's an orange with a depth 1, so it's a very light orange color. This is an R1, so it stands for red one, but this is a really low depth color to tackle like green spots on your face. As you can tell, there's some things wrong with my face. Like you can tell my under eye, I've got the tired look, a little bit of the bags, I've got some freckle pooling, I've got some veins right here that I haven't tackled, and the reason why is because I'm going to do a little color correcting for you today. Now there's going to be other videos that I go into more depth on how to use the Demi colors, but today I'm just going to show you how it works and explain a little bit of the basics. There's also some spots that I have that I haven't treated, and I wanted to show you guys how I treat those. There are other Demi colors that you can use depending on the depth and the color of the blemish or discoloration that you have on your face. Another must-have when you're going to use Demi is this spot brush. It's got a very, very small point, and it helps to target just the smallest areas, because when we apply our Demi, we're only applying it to the discoloration. We're not putting it on a wide swath of skin. We're literally only putting it onto the discoloration. And the reason why is because if I apply it to the discoloration and a little bit around it, it's going to change the color around it and create a new problem. The reason why how Demi works is that when you apply it, it literally disappears the entire mark. It doesn't leave a gray spot. It disappears the discoloration, and you don't need to put anything on top of it because you're not having that gray spot. So it's like this magical, I don't know, it's just like this magic that happens on these spots. It's incredible, and you'll see how it works. So Demi actually goes and targets the excess color of the discolorations. Like right here, for instance, on my veins, I've got this spot right here, and you would say, okay, that looks kind of like bluish, and it is. It's got a lot of depth, so anything with depth is going to have excess blue in it. So I'm going to use a product with an orange in it that is going to tackle that. Now, the difference between this and regular color correcting is that there are different depths of blue. So this one right here, I can actually just use my 01 and get rid of this discoloration because it's light enough that the 01 will tackle it. But if it was a lot darker and had a lot more depth, say if I had really, really dark circles, I might need to go into an 03 or an 05, depending on the depth of the discoloration. Another example is a blemish. Now blemishes are kind of tricky because when you see a blemish, you're like, oh, that's red. And it's true that it is red, but there are different kinds of red. So there's a really, really, really vibrant red, and that's when you would go in and apply a green color, and it would go and tackle the red. But more often than not with the blemish, there is actually a little bit of depth to the blemish, not just vibrancy. There is depth, which means whenever we have depth, it has blue. So it's going to be kind of like this purpley undertone. And I'll go into excess color again more in depth in another video, but I wanted to give you guys a few of the basics of how Demi works. Another great thing about Demi and why it works better than any color corrector that you'll find out there is because it is actually tackling the discoloration with color, with complementary colors, like That's all. Regular color correcting, yes, it's also tackling complementary colors, but you have to go and cover it with a foundation or a concealer afterwards because it leaves that gray spot. Well, with Demi, because it does not leave the gray spot, because we are only treating excess color only so that it will leave that skin color afterwards, then we don't have to go and color or cover it with another product. We don't have to layer it on, which is fantastic for under eyes or any area of movement, because the more product we put on those areas, and especially the older we get, the more creasing we're going to get, the more makeup texture we're going to get, separating, we're going to have more issues of it staying. So the fact that you can use Demi and just have one layer and not put anything on top of it is incredible. Ultimately, the final product is just more natural looking. So I'm going to go and show you color correcting with Demi and just get it done. First thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with my R1 first, and I'm going to tackle some of these lighter green points. Now, these look brown whenever you get to freckling or melasma. This again will be in another video, but I'll briefly touch on it. Whenever you get into freckling or melasma, there is a green undertone. That is the excess color that you are looking for, and that is what you're going to treat. Depending on the depth of the melasma or the freckling, then it depends on the depth of the Demi color that I'm going to use. But in this case, it's fairly light. I can do an R1 for this. So I'm going to start with this point. You've probably already seen me do this in other videos, to where I'm just doing this spot treating method, and that's what I like to use Demi for, is more of a spot treating method. And I can do other videos too where I do a little bit more spot treating in general, but whenever I want a light makeup day or I just want less of a makeup look, I'm going to be applying the Demi. And I typically like to use Demi in general for like my high movement areas. I'll use 3D foundation as well, but more in a Demi way, I suppose you could say. Just going in and treating some of these bigger freckle melasma spots. And that's the difference. So it's really hard to tell what I did, because with traditional makeup, we just we slap on a huge chunk and then we wipe it, and it just is this huge difference, right? Or it seems like it. But with Demi, it's so subtle and so sneaky that you're just like, wait, what just happened? What was there before? What was that? Even I will lose where I put the makeup at, because it's so sneaky and just so subtle, and it leaves no texture. So I can't even see where I put the makeup. It's incredible, but it's very sneaky. So this side's done. That's it. One side done. I'll go in and do the other side. And this side I'm going to go in with the O1 now, because on this other side it's got depth and it's got the blue undertone. So I'm going to offset it with the complementary color orange, and I'm just targeting that excess color. See that? You wouldn't even know what I had there. And you cannot see a stitch of makeup in person. It's not just on camera, it's in person, like you can't even tell. And if someone can compliment like my face, the way that I look, not necessarily my makeup, and I'm getting the compliment and my makeup's not getting the compliment, that's the ultimate compliment to me. Maybe you're different and maybe you like the compliment of makeup, and that's awesome too. But for me, I just feel like that's the whole point of the makeup, is to draw attention more to me and less to my makeup. That's my goal anyway, and that may not be your goal, and that's totally cool too. It's just how I do it. And so you can see the difference of my under eyes. Here's the before and here's now. Just wild, right? All right, now I'm going to go and tackle some of these other spots. They have some depth to them. I'm just going to go in with my O1 and use that. I also have a OY. And notice how I'm only placing it right where the discoloration is, like I said before. because I just want to change those dark spots. I don't want to change the whole area. I'm fine with the area. I don't mind having a little bit of all right, I'm gonna go to my chin. And if I can see the color on my face, then I've got too much on and I need to distribute it, or I've got the wrong color. Those are two telltale signs. So a lot of those had a lot of depth. And that's it, guys. I am done with the spot treating. Oh, maybe this is a freckle. If I wanted to do that, I could put like an 03 on there, but I'm usually okay with that freckle. And that is color correcting with Demi. Now I don't have to put anything on top of that makeup because I don't have any dirty muddy spots. I've just got bright, beautiful, it looks like beautiful luminous skin. Now I'm going to just go and set with the powder just for longevity because it is a cream just like 3D foundation. And so I want to make sure I just set that into place and not to remove what I put on there. I don't even know where I put it. I have a general idea. And I can go wild. I can go even more in depth and get rid of more blemishes, but generally this is just where I like to keep it. So that is color correcting in a nutshell with Demi. I will do another video where I go into more depth about explaining excess color and show you how to spot the discoloration or how to spot excess color. But that's a whole other video and I'll break this up into sections. Also, I've been using a new product for my eyebrows. It's the Nyx Brow Pen that I got, and I really have been enjoying it. I've also been enjoying the color, and I will be doing a video in the future to show you guys how I do that, but that'll be in the future. But thanks for watching as usual. I will see you guys next Tuesday with another video, and I hope you guys have a great week. Please be sure to like and subscribe and or share this video if you think that somebody else would benefit from this. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.